Your mental health is more important than you think. Hi, friends, it's Adam, the crippled cannabis cowboy. Thanks for watching my video on mental health and how much things don't make sense. Hopefully things make sense one day. If you like the channel, subscribe to it, and maybe you find something else you like. When it comes to your mental health, things might not make sense. And when you understand that things don't make sense, it kind of makes sense a little bit. That's what I'm noticing anyway. As a man, I can say that your mental health, or my mental health, is everything to me. I actually didn't realize it was as important as it was. And there's a couple things that happen that will make you go even more crazy than you really are. And, being ignored is one of them. Being not heard is another. There's several. And kind of like I said, when things don't make any sense, when you understand that things don't make any sense, things kind of start making sense. Now, I've been ignored, I've been not heard. There's a lot of things, when it comes to dating and relationships and work and driving. There's a lot of things that I can't do anymore. So that affects my mental health. I'm sure if I'm feeling that way, then other people are feeling that way too. You kind of get this, there's a phrase that they use for younger kids called failure to thrive. And I know I'm not a young kid, but there's something connected to that has to do with being older and being disabled. Is you encounter this failure to thrive. You look at things like, damn, this is hopeless, I can't do this, why the hell am I doing this? That in turn spirals out of control, affects your mental health, affects your behavior, it affects your vibe, it affects everything around you. There's this integration thing that goes through my brain, and it makes it particularly tough because today's world, there's a lot of places that are handicap accessible, but I've noticed that nowhere is handicap friendly. I don't know if people just don't like handicaps, or I'm cut quite a bit, and if I feel like I'm in someone's way, odds are I'm in someone's way. So they either go around me or they move. Like I said, you get cut, you get disregarded. So that's where I think there's a lack of friendliness when it comes to someone who is disabled. I've seen it so many times that you can't really dispute it. When you're in a wheelchair or you're in a walker and you can't move, people are gonna go by you, man. They're gonna be like, you're in my way. I got this to do, I got that to do. Meanwhile, they don't realize that you can't do a damn thing, and that's probably affecting you severely. We're creatures of habit. I'm a creature of habit. I have habits that I hover around, especially when your mental health goes down the tubes. You tend to hold on to these habits. And when these habits aren't around, it makes you go a little extra crazy. And nobody wants to go crazy. When you start to lose your mind, when I start to lose my mind, I notice people don't like me anymore. They don't want to hang out with me. They don't want to talk to me and tell me the things that I need to know. The most questions that I get is, what's it like? I'll often hear people complaining over and over and over, and then they kind of realize, oh no, who am I complaining to? This dude's in a heap of shit and I'm sitting here complaining at him. That happens quite a bit. It's not pleasant. Yeah, it's cool to be recognized, but You don't like being in this boat. When you go to save, a lot of weird things happen to you. This is just disability. This isn't other things, but you lose all your stuff. I lost all my stuff. I lost stuff my grandfather gave me. Now, it's got a lot to do with being disabled. I can't get it. I can't do anything. It's got something to do with other people. And I didn't pay attention to where the life is of other people. And I included myself in it. And I paid a price dearly for it. I've called friends. I've called family, like looking for a trick, like, oh, what do you do when you feel like this? There are no answers. I had to realize for myself that I'm not going to get any answers, particularly to the questions that I'm asking. And I've noticed there's many other people that feel like that. We have a epidemic going on of people losing their damn mind. So I know I'm not the only one that's losing their damn mind. There's no trick. You kind of just have to sit with it. You got to sit through it. The one thing that does help me is like therapy, talking about it, talking to a stranger. Sometimes I talk to someone I know. Sometimes I talk to a complete stranger. Kind of like therapy. It does help. It's not a bad thing if you decide to open your mouth and vent to someone that you need to know. Now, the venting, I did notice, venting's important, man. It's when things compound on you, you can either keep it in or you can vent to someone. And venting, it does help me, but I have to be very selective on who I vent to, because I've lost all my stuff. I've been dissed so many times by women, jobs, doing things, friends, family. It's quite ridiculous. I did not know that all these things happened, and I'm sure there are other people that don't realize the things that are happening to them.